What is going on? Are you ready for this one? Today we're doing Five Finger Death Punch Gone Away. This is something I have been really looking forward to doing. These are extremely deep songs that Five Finger Death Punch has. They're very focused around the military and their families and that way of life, and a lot of things that go into just the way of living with the military. And not a lot of people, I would say a majority of people in this country, just don't understand the emotion and the way of thinking and what really goes into being either a family member of someone who's in service or someone who's actually in service, regardless if it's, infantry or just someone who's working a job for the military. Now, obviously, if you're in infantry, there's much higher risk and a lot of other crazy shit that can happen. But, you know, all of it together is still extremely stressful and tends to lead to similar outcomes. But let's start the video. Enough talking. But first, I gotta do this. I always forget. Oh, over here. What's happening? Why is this not here? Oh. There it is. I'm a fucking idiot. Alright, now we can continue.
What's that?
3 KIA. That is confirmed. 3 KIA.
Maybe in another life I could find you there, pulled away before your time. I can't deal, it's so unfair, and it feels like heaven so far away. And it feels like the world has grown cold now that you've gone away.
I want to say I don't have any personal experience with this, and I would assume a bunch of people listening to this would, or at least understand a little bit better than I do. Some people try to incorporate their own feelings into situations like this, and personally, I know that I could never really comprehend what this is like, because I don't really have. I've had friends and stuff that have been in the military and things like that, but I've never had direct family members or anyone who's been that close to me who's in the military while I've known them. So my best guess is that this is probably the biggest fear for someone who has someone in the military. Those people coming to give you the folded flag. That shit is... I have not even experienced it, and probably won't, unless I have a kid who goes into the military eventually. But that just seems like one of the most terrifying things that could happen.
Leaving flowers on your grave show that I still care. Black roses and Hail Marys, I can't bring back what's taken.
I do want to say real quick, it's so hard to pause in this song because each scene is so sensitive and so detrimental to the whole point of the entire video here, the point of the song. But I do want to say that this song, just going into more of like the art itself, the music and everything, Five Finger Death Punch is like one of the best bands I know of at all that can do cover songs as well as they do, to the fact that their cover songs are some of their most popular songs. This, I believe, is a cover from The Offspring, and I know they've done plenty of other ones that have been huge, but they do it so well, and they don't just copy the song. They do take the song and then they kind of turn it into their own artistic. They put their own artistic like layer on top of it. They recreate the song to fit their narrative, to fit their messaging. And I think that's really cool. It's cool to see bands do like their own versions of like other songs and do it similar to the other song, but Five Finger Death Punch always takes it to the next level, and I love how good they are at doing it. That's always such a gut punch how they set up this video too, where they're just showing like them in their regular lives, like how they are friends and, you know, just living like everyone else. You don't always think about them when you see them in uniform, and sadly a lot of people tend to not act like they're also just people. But it's so tough just watching this video and seeing how the way they just portray it. I mean, they're doing it specifically for this video in that way, but it is also very real. And it's kind of sad thinking about, like, it's really hard when you're in that position. Like, they were showing them watching the TV, what was going on, and whatever fight was happening or some sort of incident. And you do have people in this country that genuinely care about everyone in this country, or maybe not every, but the country as a whole, and making sure that, you know, we keep what this country was founded on, and really make sure that no one is going to come in and walk all over that, keep the people here protected. You have genuine people that want to go fight for that idea and want to fight for the people they love at home, like their family and everyone like that. And not everyone is that brave to do that, and it's fucking crazy to even want to go do that, but you need people who are going to do that. But at the same time, lately, for me, my own opinion, it's really hard to justify what is worth going to fight for. And as just an individual person, you can't really, it's hard to make that decision because you don't know what the motives are behind every little thing. But that's why it's why we don't respect the politicians who are sending them there. That's why we respect the people who go there, because they don't know necessarily what the end goal is, but they know, at least in their heart, they're going to try to protect this country. Whether or not that is the politicians' goals or not, that's not really the important part, or why we respect the troops, or why we really support them, why we support the flag. It has nothing to do with our government. It has to do with us as people, and what the troops are actually, what they believe they're going to do, and what their mission is. It's completely different, you know, when you think of leaders compared to the people working in the system. So make sure you make that distinction, because I feel like a lot of people will shit on military members because they think that the military, people in the military, are going to these places to do the same things that everyone thinks the leaders of our government want to do. And that's not necessarily the case. This song is so powerful musically, and like I absolutely jam out to this when I listen to it. I'll scream my idiot head off whenever I listen to this song. But right now, it's so hard to like want to jam to this song while watching this video because it's like it's fucking devastating. And it's such a great song for the video, but it just feels wrong to jam to it while you're watching this. And like I just want to sit back and like appreciate the message more than trying to get into the music, if that makes sense. um, for me, I love music and everything, but this message goes beyond the music. And I love that Five Finger Death Punch has put the time into really pushing these messages when I can't I can't even honestly tell you any other bands off the top of my head that have put this much effort into portraying these messages. None that I can think of. I mean, others might have mentioned it in songs or maybe have had a song about it, but Five Finger Death Punch goes into detail and really, really touches your heart with all of this shit.
Feels like heaven so far away. And it feels, yeah, it feels like heaven so far away. And it stings, yeah, it stings now. The world is so cold now that you've gone away. Gone away, gone away, yeah, 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 and it feels like the world is so cold now that you've gone away.
Gone but never forgotten. So, at the end of that song is always really interesting to me because it's like, it's almost like he couldn't even live his civilian life anymore, and that's, I guess it's true. I don't really have any experience to go on. If anyone in watching this video, if you guys can throw in the comments any of your own experiences or have a story of someone give a little information about what that is kind of like. Obviously, I get the idea of it, but I've never experienced it. I don't know anyone personally who's experienced it, but yeah, I mean, to go through all of that, to witness all of that, and to just try to go back to living a normal life, I feel like would be crazy in a way. And what I get from this message here, or what they visualized at the end of this video, is that he just felt like he had to go back, and I guess that was his only way of being able to cope with the situation, or that just feels like what he should be doing. If you know like a better explanation of it than I'm giving, feel free to write that as well. Yeah, it's hard for me to speak on this really in like detail because a lot of songs I can go into because I've had at least some kind of personal experience where I can relate, but this is so far beyond anything that I've personally experienced. If I related it to anything in my life, it would almost be like an injustice to what is actually going on with, people who serve in the military. So I'm going to leave it at that. I have my complete respect for everyone who serves, and I understand why you do it. And I will say this, if I have learned anything from talking to the few people I know who were in the military, it's basically going to like this idea of like the PTSD, and how like in the video it was showing this guy who's on the verge of suicide and not able to cope with what was going on. A lot of people feel like it's because of what they get. They go over there and they kill people and do like what they're paid to do over there. And it can kind of be that, but most of it is from the main point of this video, and it's the people that they're with in the military. They become like your brothers and sisters, and you rely on them to survive, and it becomes like an extremely tight bond. And if you lose them, that is what really fucks with you. It's less about the people you're fighting and maybe like all the craziness going on over there, which definitely does have an effect, but from what I've been told is the people you were with, when you lose them, that is the number one thing that really fucks with them. And I completely get that, because if you build a bond like that with someone and you're really like fighting to survive and you're with them every day and you're in this unit and it's all you see and deal with every day, I can't imagine going through that. I can't even imagine what that bond would even be like, to be honest. It's like when you live as a civilian, people are pretty disposable. You don't rely on too many people. There's a few people that you rely on, and it's usually just like your family. And that's about the best I can relate that to the military, because it becomes a life and death situation. It becomes like a survival situation. It's just who you're with all the time. They basically become your family there. And, you know, I feel like I can relate it to if you were to lose a family member. It's basically the best way I can put it as a civilian. But yeah, this was, it's always a fucking gut punch listening to Five Finger Death Punch, especially these videos they do about the military. So this was Gone Away, the official music video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. If you like the other content I do, make sure you subscribe, because that would help me out a lot. You know, give me some other suggestions you would like me to do, whether it's some different bands or more from Five Finger Death Punch. I really love their music, so I won't be afraid to do that. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of you. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments and what you have to say. So, I'll catch you around.